This is Jonathan Angoff here for Pro Boxing fans. I'm delighted to be joined by the White Rhino himself, Mr. Dave Allen. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. The end of a very long week. 20 sessions down, for myself, 20 for Jay, 12 for Liam, 12 for Danny, 20 for Jack, 20 for Paul. It's busy, I've had a week full of medicals, making sure my medical is clear for Feb 8th, and been a long week, but yeah, we're at the end of it now, thankfully.
I mean, I've witnessed some of, I wouldn't call them shenanigans, but some of the banter in the gym. I mean, it's such a upbeat gym all the time. You all seem to really get on. Can only help all of you come on, especially with fights coming up.
Yeah, boxing's really hard. Boxing's a really hard sport, so when we're training, it's deadly serious, I do like a joke, as you know, and I'm probably the ringleader most of the time with the jokes. Yeah, he's trying, but he's not as funny as me. But no, when the session starts, I expect 100% seriousness. You know what I mean? I put a lot of time, a lot of my time, a lot of money as well, I guess, and so all I expect out of him is 100%. I don't expect miracles, but all you can expect is your best. See you later, Joe. See you later, mate.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
All the best, Sam. Yeah. See you later, mate. So yeah, all I expect back is 100% in return. But when we're not in the gym, let's have a good time, I guess. Yeah, that's how I live my life.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, this mindset you've got, because I mean, I think it's fair to say you have been sort of portrayed as this kind of joker, but clearly when you're training and you've got responsibility with these fighters, it's all systems go. There's no messing about.
Yeah, when I boxed Lucas Brown, I was deadly serious. Every session, food, everything. When I boxed David Price, the first 5 weeks, professional as you can get. The last 5 weeks, kind of overtrained and fell out of love with it a little bit. I was tired, and the last 5 weeks didn't quite go to plan, but I can be professional. Maybe hard to believe, but with Danny, I met Danny 2 years ago, and every night before bed, Danny, Paul, Liam, Jay, they all know what they're doing the next day. The plan is written down. They're doing what I say they're doing, and if they don't want to do it, that's fair enough. Just then go home, go back to where you want to train, go train somewhere else. That's absolutely fine. No one here is held hostage by me. But if you're going to train with me, if I'm going to put all this time in, if I'm going to put all this money into making sure you can live and train full time, which is what I do for the boys, I think people assume that they just train and live off fresh air, and it's not. I put a lot of money into them as well as time and everything else, and I can get money back, but time I can't, so that's more important to me. So yeah, all the training plans is there. Everything for that they need is sorted. I sort everything. If they need something, they can come to me and I'll sort it. So yeah, professional. I am professional with the training. Yeah, 100% I am. Yeah, they do it all correct. I'm not a world class boxer, but Joe Gallagher just walked past. I'm not sure he was a world class boxer either, but he's a world class coach, and I'm immaculate with it. You know what I mean? And I do know my shit. So. They're improving all the time. Liam met me, he'd never boxed before. Now he's 2-0 and he holds his own with some of the pros. When I met Danny, he was 8 and I think he was 8 and 31 as an amateur. Now he's like a top 10, 12 in the country. It's not an accident what we're doing, and it's not just what I'm teaching him. The training Terry Harper, their world champion, needs to grow up. And it's not. I think I'm teaching them well, but they're in here twice a day. They're training 3 hours a day like pros. And Danny and Liam, they're amateurs. Liam's a 2-bout amateur. He trains 3 hours a day. He has physio. I pay for him to have his physio done, massage. He eats correctly. You know what I mean? He lives a good life. I don't allow him to go out of the bed. When I met him, he had certain addictions. He smokes like 2 or 3 cigarettes a day. There ain't no more than that, and you ain't drinking, son. You ain't doing nothing naughtier than that. So they live the life. Liam's fighting tonight. He's got a kid 515, be really good, but what he's facing is a 2-fight amateur that's a full-time pro. And that's why they're improving as much as they are. Same with Jay, same as he will improve because he's now a full-time pro.
Obviously, Jay McFarlane, the Scottish heavyweight, is under Pappy Della, the stable. I don't know what have you come up with a name first of all for this?
Not yet. No.
Well, anyway, back to it. I mean, Jay McFarlane, obviously we know him from Ultimate Boxer. He's come joined you. He's admitted to me that this has basically been one of the first weeks he's been sober and concentrating on it. But what did you see in him that sort of persuaded you, I want to take this guy under my wing?
For me, you need 2 things for me to take an interest in you. When I first saw Danny, he was in the amateur gym, and I didn't know that he'd won 8 out of 39 or 38, whatever it was. I didn't know. I just saw him on the bag and I saw he was quite clever. A, I thought he had talent, and B, I got to know him, he's a nice kid. Same with Jay. I kind of did it backwards with Jay. Nice kid. Spoke to him on social media. And then I saw him stop Sean Duffy. I thought it was Dave out at the time. I just saw a clip and he slips back, hits him with an uppercut, he slips again, hits him, and he takes him out with 3 shots. And you can just see, you don't do that by accident. People say to me, you've done this, that was a lucky shot against Lucas Brown. Then at web shot, you set that up luckily. No, you don't set things up luckily. It takes skill, or it takes timing, or it takes natural ability. It takes whatever it takes. So I saw that with Jay, and that little clip alone made me think that kid's got something. And I watched him Ultimate Boxer, and there's a man who doesn't train, and ultimately that's a man that he hasn't got anyone around him that cares about him. Now, I'd known him for 2 weeks, so I couldn't sit here and say we've got the same relationship as me and Danny. I think the world's the kid, he's nice, he's getting on great, and continues like this. Will be close to me and Danny. Me and Danny like father and son, I guess, brothers, and same with Liam. And me and Jay will get that same way because I can see he's just a lovely kid. I could just see that all Jay needs is an arm around him, first and foremost. More than a boxing coach, he needs a mentor, a father figure, I'd go as far to say. And me, what I am is I'm a steady man. I'm a very boring man. I don't drink, don't smoke, I don't go on nights out. I sit in the house, I watch TV, I drink Diet Coke, I eat fruit and fibre, play FIFA with Liam. That's what we do. So that's what Jay needs. Jay needs a big brother, and I guess that's where I come in, and I get him under control. I get him eating a bit better. I stop all his bad habits. We get in the gym twice a day, and at the minute, we're getting him fit. We're getting off all his bad habits first. This is such a long process with Jay. And I've told him, I said, Jay, this ain't January 24th, the fight. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about February 22nd. We're going to match him as softly as we can. We've got to keep winning. We've got to keep boxing and be active. But this is such a long process. He's a 21-year-old kid who's had many problems, who's in horrific shape at the minute. This is a long process. This is going to take 5 and 10 years, not 3 and 4 weeks. I told him, I said, Jay, if you want to give me 10 years of your life, I believe I can put you in a position where the last 50 of your life will be quite comfortable. That's what I was told 5 years ago, and even though I might not have listened at the time, it's worked out alright for me. But to Jay, genuinely, give me 10 years of your life, I can give you a nice 50 years at the end, because he's got loads of ability, he's tough, which is a necessity in the heavyweight division. If you're tough and game and fit, you're gonna be a decent fighter anyway in the heavyweight division, because half of them are shocking. People can say I'm shocking, but at least I'm tough, I'm game, punch a little bit, it'll take you a certain way, You got a little bit extra, that's when you become a top man. And there's so much money in the division. You've only got to be a top 50 heavyweight with a bit of personality. I proved it. You know what I mean? So Jay can do that. So if he gives me another 518 weeks like the 2 we've just had, there's no reason why he can't become what I've done, and I hope surpass it.
I mean, he said to me he's looking at 8 fights this year. He seems to me the type of guy that will literally, as you do, fight anyone and everyone that's put in front of him. Is that another similarity but you see with him?
Yeah, but I don't like it. It don't impress me. Bravado don't impress me. Yeah, he's tough in his game, and that's great, and you need that. But I want him to put that to the back of his mind. And people will say to me, David, look, you're talking, you can't say this because you've done all this. But yeah, I can say this because I've done it all. I've made so many mistakes. I could go back to the start of my career. I would never sit here and say I'd change anything, because I wouldn't. Things have worked out perfectly. But if I could start again, I'd do things a lot differently. You know what I mean? If things wouldn't have panned out the way they had, I'd be sat here now, probably retired with nothing, thinking I wish I'd have done it differently. So I said to Jay, I said, look, son, you gotta walk, you gotta crawl before you can walk. Never mind run before you can walk. You're still at the crawling stage. He's like, I want to fight him for this. I want to do this for this. No, Jay, no. Let's do it properly. I say to him, let's do it properly. I don't say let's do it my way. What I'm saying really, let's do it my way. But what I'm really saying, let's do it properly. Why would you rush? I rushed into things, and it worked out for me. But for every one it works out for me, 999 lose, they get beat and they're never seen again. I had a big gob and a pretty face, and it kept me in the limelight, I like to say. But
still in it.
Yeah, I guess so. But and I'm glad I am in a way. And the only reason I am still boxing is because of the likes of Jay and Danny and Liam. Financially, I have to keep backing doing what I'm doing. and also me being in the spotlight brings them into the spotlight and gives them a chance to become whoever they want to be, you know. So, but Jay just got to crawl for a bit. He's got to crawl, I believe, for the next year, 18 months. I don't want to hear I want to box him. I want to box him. I want to box, you know, for argument's sake. Oh, I won't mind fighting David Price's comeback fight, or if so and so loses, let's fight him. He's a big name. Oh, they're saying 15, 20 grand. No, Jay, let's crawl, son. And it might be hard, but I'll back you out while times are hard. We'll get through it, and it'll come good. And hopefully, because he sees the faith I'm putting in him, he can repay it in me, and he'll get there. I believe he'll get there. I think he's really talented. I think he just needs to take time, just needs to listen. His team back in Scotland, Sam and that, they need to support him and back him, and he'll get there. I'm really confident about it. I'm excited about it as well, because, like you say, he does remind me of me.
Let's go on to you. You've got a fight coming up, February the 8th. You're back in the ring. How are you feeling? Very indifferent 2019. Brilliant win, probably the biggest of your career against Lucas Brown, the former WBA heavyweight champion, headlining the O2 for that in there. But obviously the defeat to David Price. How would you reflect on it?
It was probably the best year of my boxing life, even with the defeat and what came with it. Headlining the O2. I made enough money to change my life forever. And changing my life, it changed my family's life. And not in terms of I couldn't buy them houses or nothing, but I gave myself a bit of stability, made them all proud, made myself comfortable in a position where I can help them in certain ways. You know, I sent them on holiday, that was lovely. You know, I did certain things for certain people, and that was nice. But great year for me, and even better than that, I've matured so much the last 6 months. The Price defeat, I wish I'd have won it, of course, and gone on to fight Povetkin and made a bucket full of money. But I seen life in a different light, and my career in a different light, and really it changed me a lot, to be honest. People still follow me on Instagram and that, and I'm not as jokey as I once was. I realise now that life's very fickle, and boxing especially. You know, you never know what's around the corner, and I never really foresaw myself in an ambulance and in the hospital after a fight. You don't really think about it as a fighter. The only thing I've ever worried about getting in the ring is if I'm going to win or lose. I've never ever thought I'm going to leave the ring on a stretcher, and that's never ever crossed my mind once. You know, you see it off certain fights, like, you know, the worst happens and you think that's awful, but you never think it's going to be you. You never think you're going to be on the stretcher and in the ambulance. And you know, my sister was in the ambulance. I could hear her on the phone to my mum, and you know, I was unconscious for a little while and all that, and just made me see things differently. I had a lot of time out. Eddie got in touch before Christmas, February 8th. I said yes, Ed. Hopefully, you know, I passed the medical, which is still ongoing. You know, it's looking good. I will be boxing February 8th, but still got a few things to clear up. But everything's looking well and on track. But I'm training hard. For the Price fight, I got it all wrong. I was too light. Price boxed out of his skin that night, and I take nothing away from him, no excuses, but I'm doing it my way now. I'm going to do it my way. I want to entertain. You know, the competition will be dropped for the first 6 months of the year, and I'm open to try new things out, and this is my last roll of the dice, I guess. I've had a few of them, but this is the proper last roll of the dice now, and I want to win the British heavyweight title. And make as much money as possible. That's what I want to do this year, and hopefully 2021 and beyond. But you know, our boxing career and life's like a candle. It's only got so much life in it. So I guess if you looked at my candle, we'll be near. We're nearing the end of it. Even at 27, I've had a pretty hard career the last few years. I took a lot of sticks. So we'll see. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope there's a little bit more to come.
I mean, you have always been rolling the dice during your career. You fought Lewis Ortiz, Dillian White. The list is endless. Do you in any way regret having those tough fights so early on, or has it, in a way, made you? Because now people know who you are. You've got the profile to help these guys. But is there any regret at all?
No, because David Allen, the boxer, comes secondary to the White Rhino. You know, or Don Castel or whatever people know me as, I guess. First and foremost, I'm a personality, I'm a character, you know, that's what I'm known as. I guess if someone said, David Allen the boxer, the first thing they'll say is, he's a funny man, him, or he's this, or he's that. It won't be, oh, remember when he knocked Lucas Brown out? It's always, he's a funny guy, or he did this once, or he stuffed his box at the weigh-in. And I'm alright with that because it's given me opportunities to box these names. I don't regret any fight I've ever had. In 20 years' time, 30 years' time, my kids will say, my dad boxed Dillian White, he boxed Luis Ortiz, Tony Oka, he boxed Commonwealth title twice against Leroy Thomas to beat Lucas Brown, he boxed David Price, boxed Nick Webb at the O2. I've had a mad career. Never boxed for a world title, never boxed for a European title, never boxed for a British title. But I've had a career that most can't even dream of. And I'm really proud of it as well. Because I was never meant to do anything in life or in boxing, never mind life, and I have. And more than that, I'm proud that I've given these boys the opportunity now to move on and go forward. Like with Jay, Jay's got a big opportunity because, and same with Danny and same with Liam, because I'm going to give him that platform to do so. I'm so proud that I can do that for him, and that's really what this last run for me is all about. So yeah, I am proud of it. Yeah.
I mean, what is left? British title. We all know you've desired that for ages. Currently, Daniel Dubois obviously holds it. Potentially may vacate now, move on. Is that perhaps a vacant title you want? I know there was talk of a Daniel Dubois fight last year. How do you see the path?
Well, the thing with me is, when I'm at 100%, Lucas Brown was somewhere near 100%. That version of me, if you're not Daniel Dubois, or you're not European level or world level, you're not going to beat me. Do you know what I mean? I boxed Nick Webb off the sofa out of shape and beat him. I boxed Tony Oka 10 rounds, Ortiz 7, Dillian White 10 off the sofa. I can fight a little bit. I see these young guys coming up and they look at me and they think, he's not very good, him. I've watched him get beat up on the telly. Believe you me, they've all been in here. All the young heavyweights have been in here, all been in gyms in Doncaster. And 90% of them have been sent home after a round or two. They got off the bum, got the stuff packed and gone home and said, you know what, Dave Allen's better than he looks on TV. So, no, they can make their own way home. But I'm a lot in the gym, I'm absolutely shit hot, you know what I mean? People have always said it, David Allen could be a world-class heavyweight, and the time left to show that is evaporating. But I know it's in there somewhere, but my aspirations and dreams of being world champion have long gone now. The prize fight put paid to that, but I can definitely be British champion when Dubois has moved on. Say Gorman, the Fabio Wardley, the Lily winner, Nick Webb now is on the competition. They're all British title fights after a couple of wins. So yeah, as for me, I enjoy boxing. I love boxing. I may end up like Danny Williams till I'm 50 going around fighting. I love it, and I'm good at it. I'm not a world-class fighter, as many aren't. Lots of people on the internet watch your Lomachenko's, your Joshua's, and they see elite talent. They watch a man at British level like myself and they go, he's no good. Believe me, it took 11 years for me to do 500 rounds with Joshua's, hundreds with Fury, to stick in there, to trick your way through him. It's a real skill, and it's disrespectful to me and others like me that haven't got the physical capabilities, but we've honed our craft and really worked at it. So I'm hoping on this last little run I've got, whether it lasts to February 8th, maybe I get beat there, or whether it lasts another 5 years. I just hope to show my ability that I have got. I hope it comes through one night, even just for one night. I can show it and do what I do in the gym, and that'd be great. But I just hope with what is left, I can set up my boys and ultimately me and my family for the rest of my life, I guess. So that is the aim.
Just last one on your training aspect. Obviously, we know Darren Barker was your trainer. How much has he sort of inspired you with this training? How much have you learnt from him that you can provide for your other people you're training?
Well, I started training Danny after the Leroy Thomas cut, when I was doing nothing at all. I just met him and said I want to train him. I've always wanted to be a trainer. When I was, I've been training people to do things since a kid. I remember being 12 years old training my mates to fight, just to fight in general. I've always done it. I've always done it. So when I trained Danny, it was all the goal from being around 20, 21, 22, Anthony Tomlinson. remember training him a little bit on the pads back in the day when I had about 2 pro fights. It was always the dream. And as soon as I trained Danny, that was it. Me and him were going to have the next 20 years of our life together, him training him to be a boxer. And now it's kind of snowballed into, I've got Liam, got Paul, now I've got a pro heavyweight on the books. And it's not a financial thing, because believe you me, it cost me an absolute fortune to look after these. And unless they start making 5-figure purses, the deal with all of them, I said to him, I'll never take a penny off him. It isn't for money. I would never take a penny off him unless I started earning big money. So I'll do it out of the love for boxing and my love for them. So yeah, no one's really done that for me, you know. I've not really took anything out of boxing. I've been too generous to my own good sometimes, and so for my next fight, there is no trainer per se. Getting as fit as possible, I will spar and I will fight. I've had lots of money took off me by people for doing nothing at all in my career. The last few years of my career, done a lot of pain, and a lot of people have done a lot of nothing for it, you know. No names mentioned. That's not Darren Barker. Darren Barker's a great friend of mine and did a great job for the Brown fight. But that's boxing in general. So a lot of people taking a lot of people's money that work very hard for it, and they do fuck all for it. And so this next stage of my career is for me, and it's for them, you know. So yeah, you know, I went on a little tangent there, but I'm a real bastard. You know what I'm saying? I'm real as I come, and yeah, so yeah, there is no real trainer for this next fight. It's there'll be someone in the corner. Not worked out who that will be yet. Training very hard though. Believe me, I'm training very hard, twice a day, every day. I've got an S&C trainer coaching, put me through it every morning. When I'm in here doing 6 on the bag, some shadow, body sparring with Jay. I'll start to open spar. Yeah, don't need someone taking my money for not doing anything. And again, that's not aimed at Darren Barker at all. We're great friends, but just people in boxing, and you know, that's no names mentioned at all. But I had to get that out there.